welcome everybody. My name is Lynn, and this is Crafty Fun with Friends, episode 12.
Hello and welcome everybody.
Thank you for hanging in there. We had some technical difficulty issues, so thanks for bearing with us today. Hopefully, we have that sorted out. And folks who are my guests today, I did hear an echo a second ago, so if everybody can check if your headphones are in, that would be great. I just muted you all. um, and in the chat, we did have some audio issues, so let me know if the sound is okay for you all, because if it comes up again, I think I know what I need to do to fix it, but I just need you to let me know. All right. So today's episode, we are going to make some backgrounds, and I don't know that any one of us has a plan to actually finish a card, but we wanted to just show as many different techniques as we could. So that is our plan for today. And I have some fabulous guests with me. So what I'll do is I'm going to unmute everybody now. And if everyone could maybe take a turn introducing yourselves, let's start with Jay and go clockwise.
Works for me. I'm Jay. I'm at Craft by Jay on most of the platforms. I'm primarily active on YouTube and Instagram, but today I'm going to be playing with a bunch of paint that I haven't used in a long time because I've been like such a stamper for the last, I don't know, year or so. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So I have a bunch of stuff that will be at least semi-messy.
Awesome. And I did copy in Jay's link to his YouTube channel. So please do, after this stream, if you could pop on over, check out his channel and all the awesome videos that he puts up. And if you like what you see, give him a subscribe. Terry, before we get to you, I always forget saying this bit, but if everybody who's here with us live and everybody who's catching us on replay, if you could do a favor and hit that like button, that would be fabulous. It helps YouTube share our video out to more people. And if you are watching live right now, if you can click the share button and share it out to your stories, your social media, just in case for anyone who was intending to catch us live, hopefully they'll see your notification and join in time to actually watch us live. So thank you so much. Sorry, Terry. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, that would be awesome, Terry.
Hi, I'm Terry Kellum, and I am very technically illiterate. Every time I do something like this, it's like, why? I'm an intelligent person. Why can I not figure this out? But I'm very happy that it's finally working. And we can be here and craft, and I have all kinds of cool things ready. And my youngest daughter's in the chat. It's her first time watching this, so that's pretty cool. Hi, Leah.
So sweet.
So yeah, it's great to be here crafting with y'all.
Yay. Welcome, Terry. Here is Terry's Instagram page. She goes by Mama Chorizo, which I love. So please do pop on over to Instagram at some point and check out her profile and give her a follow if you will. All right, Delise, do you want to introduce yourself? Aw, so sweet.
Hi everyone. This is Sally, Stamper Girl, and I am going to be mostly muting myself in and out because still have that horrible cough. So I apologize for all the sniffles and the coughing that I'm not gonna be able to catch it all. But I am so happy to be here. I love getting messy. I was playing last night, so this is what you see right there. But I wanted to try something completely new that I have not tried before. So if it is a completely fail, that's okay. It's just paper.
Love it. Are you gonna show us how you made that one that you have on screen though? Because that's beautiful.
So this one, let me try to remember. Oh, so I
You don't have to
used
tell us now.
my.
I'm just curious if
Oh,
you're gonna show us.
I can show it. It was super simple.
Okay. So I copied into the chat Delisa's YouTube channel. She is Stamper Girl here on YouTube. So if you have a moment after the stream, pop on over, check out her channel. She puts out videos pretty regularly and always fabulous stuff. So if you like what you see, also give her a subscribe if you will. And thank you to everybody who has liked this stream. Um, and if you haven't already, please do take a moment to do so. Probably the last time I'll mention it because I always forget. So welcome to everybody who is here watching us live. Okay, so I am not getting messy with my background techniques. So you're gonna have some of us who are messy, some of us who are a little bit not so messy. So hopefully you see a good variety. Welcome, Angela. Thanks for joining. All right, who wants to kick us off? Actually, Jay, you wanted to ask the live chat something, yeah?
Yeah, so I pulled my cheapest watercolors I could find just because I like it when we're working with materials that are just like super easy to get your hands on. So I've got this old palette from my color theory class, and then I have some new metallic watercolors I picked up for a crafting convention a couple weeks ago. These are Jerry's cheapest store brand, so these are like this palette was like $6 or something. And then I was over at Michael's this morning and picked up the cheapest watercolors they had. So if you guys have thoughts on which ones would be fun, we will use that to basically do kind of a fun wet on wet background technique that's super easy but makes for some pretty cool backgrounds if you like sort of that artsy watercolory look.
Okay, so we're gonna put it to a vote in the live chat. So option number one is what, Jay? The
Let's
Jerry's?
say we'll do Jerry's as the option number one. We can do the Michaels as option number two, and then we can do. I don't even remember whose watercolors these are. Oh, yes, I do. These are Da Vinci watercolors, which is sort of like a Jerry's but in Europe. I actually got this set in a like art box thing, basically. So these are probably nicer than these two, but really for this technique, it doesn't matter because we're
Okay,
just mostly going to
so
make a huge mess.
let us know. Welcome, Cynthia. What would you like to see Jay craft with? He's got some different options there. Number one is the Jerry's, number two is the Michaels brand, and number three, thank you, is the Da Vinci. A little bit not your cheap watercolors, but
Yeah, I mean it's like
pretty.
Yeah, I mean, like Winsor& and Newton has a student brand. This is not as good as that, but it's pretty close. This one was actually is kind of interesting because so these colors, like the top and the bottom row, are basically almost exact complements of each other. So, like as you can see on this one where I did a little mixing, right? Like these are all going to basically turn into like a really vibrant neutral if you mix them together. Um,
Cool.
which I
All
guess
right,
is
so we
a
we do have some votes, Jay. So we've got
ooh.
Cindy is voting for one. Stacy, that's a vote for three. Tia votes for one. Oh no, Cece is three. So we're split between one and three. Need to see some more votes to break the tie here. Oh, Lynn.
Both of
Okay,
them would
thanks,
be cool.
Lynn. Lynn's also a channel member. Thank you for being a member. Her vote is for three. And Cindy also said, if you're doing a wet technique, can you please talk about what paper you're using? Oh, that's important.
I can. Well, since three is
Um,
the winner, I'll move these out of the way. We might play with these later because we're doing a lot. I mean, basically
cool.
everything I'm going to do today is like mixed media friendly. So this is relatively. I mean, this paper is sold on Amazon, but you're going to get a way better price at like any of the online art stores. But basically, Fluid has two lines. It has a cotton line that's made out of cotton, and a paper line that is called something nicer than made out of wood, but that's what this stuff is. The orange one is their less expensive line. These I really like because they're watercolor blocks, so they're like a pad where they're glued on two sides and then they're open on these sides. You can basically use like a palette knife or a butter knife to get individual sheets off. But basically, this means that I can just paint on this and I don't have to tape it down, which is a lot less
Oh, is that
annoying.
why it's glued on two sides? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so basically, if you do like however crazy you want to get with water within some reason, like this is the paper's not going to warp as it dries. So that's why I like them. The other option, if you want something that's not like just taping it to your desk, which is okay if you're doing one painting, but if you want to do a lot of these, not so much. Um, is you can get actual like cutting mats like this at the Dollar Tree that are like 8x10. So they're really good if you wanted to just like tape normal paper to it. Um, and just for this stuff works just fine to paint acrylic on, which is where this is for something later, but so this is just painted with silver acrylic. And then I also used tint spray on one of these to sort of get a string background started. This is just like this actually I got in swag box of some sort, but it's sort of a lavender. And like, both of these techniques I like as like if you just want a little texture, like you could just stop, right? But we're not stopping today. But like, I'm just saying you could. So I mean, I feel like a lot of this stuff like I'm doing is like, well, when you're happy with it, you're done.
Yeah.
Um,
So if anyone's looking for other options, I like to use Canson watercolor. This is 140 pound, 300 GSM. It's really nice. I like it in this size 9x12 because you can actually get quite a few panels. And sometimes when I'm doing watercolor techniques, I do like to make something larger, enough for 2, 3 panels, 4 even. And that way, if you're going to go to the trouble, you at least have some options. And also, it lets you kind of pick and choose when you make something really big. If there's certain spots that are really nice to use, then you can kind of be selective. So that's another option, just in case folks are looking for. And Canson's very, very readily accessible.
yeah, I'm a
Okay,
big
so do you want
fan.
to quickly start your technique and get
Yeah,
started,
I
and
can.
then I can pop around to see what
Yeah, go
Terry
for it.
and Delise are
Basically,
working
what I'm
on.
just going to do to start with is get this wet and then start taking colors that are somewhat together on the color wheel and just start like putting color places. But you can go to others and you can just sort of watch me do that.
So you're putting down just clean water to start.
Yeah, I'm putting down clean water until the paper looks glossy, basically, so that when I put the other colors on it, it moves around a lot and looks kind of watercolory.
Okay, let's see you start a little bit of that just so that we can get a sense for what you're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, all you need to do, and this is also a Jerry's brush, but like initially, you're gonna need to put, and this is about okay. So I just put like maybe 2 or 3 brush loads on. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but like there's a sheen to this now. But like
Yeah.
what you want is like a sheen, not like puddles of water, because you're gonna have to wait for all this stuff to dry. But anyway, so that sort of gets some water down on it, and then I'm just gonna grab. Oh, here's a round brush. So I think I'm gonna start with like this green here, just because like this is a really happy kind of spring green. That's probably not called that. But what you can do is just sort of, put some color down. And then if you then you can also, and you can even see how this is. I don't even need to put more water on this. Like this is already starting to run. So then I can
Mm,
basically jump into another color and make this a lot more interesting. But if you just left this like this with even this minimal amount of color on it, like it's all gonna, as you can see, like it just ran right there. So
yeah.
like it's all gonna kind of run and do wild things, and that's the cool part about this technique. And as you saw, it's like doesn't take a lot. to get started in it. Anyway, I'm going
Cool.
to keep playing, I think.
All right, so let's see what Terry, can we see what you're working on? This looks
Sure.
interesting.
Sure.
What is happening here?
I ask myself that all the time. What is going on? So I was looking for different things that I could do with my embossing folders. And so what I did with this, I embossed this on actually the Canson watercolor paper. And this is just a rock pattern. And then I have 3 different colors of dye ink that I have some smushed over on the side here. And then I'm just dipping my brush in water and I'm just kind of going over the tops of these bricks.
So you're coloring the raised area.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of supposed to be almost like an impressionistic, I guess. But when I was playing around with it this morning, I did half with these warm color of bricks, and then I have a selection of cool colors also that I'm going to do the other half.
Can you show us what ink you're using?
Sure. So I've got, let's see.
Oh, just distress inks. Okay.
Yep. So I've got those 3. I have them, like I said, smushed over here on the side, and then I just have a cup of water. My skills are very basic.
Is it important that it's dye based as opposed to pigment based ink?
I have no idea. That's an excellent question.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's okay. That'll give me something else that I can experiment with. And then for my cool colors, I've got these.
Some grays.
And then I have a gray that I'm going to mix a little bit with black just to make it a darker gray.
Oh, very cool. And I love that you're mixing brands also. So just so that we can see, we don't always have to kind of stick to the same brand.
Right. Because I just have little bits of each. So that was actually my kind of theme, I guess, for today is I wanted to see how many different ways I could use my embossing folders for backgrounds, and I wanted to play with watercolor.
Cool. Very fun. Awesome. So we're going to keep watching you progress that technique. I'm going to pop in on Delise for a sec here. And maybe she can tell us what she's been working on. And Angela says that she loves dry embossed backgrounds. Yeah, I really love dry embossing. I don't ever color it though. Like besides coloring the actual embossing folder, to get that letterpress technique. So it's cool that you're showing this, Terry. Sorry, Delise, maybe I'm popping in on you at a bad time.
Oh no, I was just cleaning up to show you what. Okay, so this is. Can you see the texture?
Oh, that's so pretty. But you're all done, so now. I wasn't watching what you were doing. Hopefully, somebody in the chat.
I wanted to.
Oh, that is cool.
I wanted to, for sure, try it 1 second, so I really went ahead of time, just because I have never tried this before.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty.
Are you gonna do it again, real quick?
Isn't the texture so cool? Yeah, it took no time, so I'll show. So I started with a piece of wax paper.
Okay, is it important
Crumble
that it's
it.
wax paper? Can it just be?
It has to be something that has at least one side that is wax, because that's what's going to give you the contrast, because it's going to be covering some areas with wax where the ink won't go in. Okay?
Oh, the wax is important. Oh.
Yeah. So we're kind of making the texture out of it's going to be resist. What I ended up doing is just try to flatten it a little bit, right?
Can you believe I have a roll of wax paper right here?
Oh, no way! Okay, you have to try it then.
I will.
Just cut a piece. It It doesn't have to be the size of the cardstock. Mine, it kind of fits almost, but then when you crumple it, it doesn't cover it completely so well. But again, it's just paper, right?
This is
So,
super cheap wax paper though. Does it matter? I don't know how much wax is actually
yes.
on here.
Girl, this is like Walmart from like 20 years ago. Because somebody told me I could probably.
This is dollar store wax paper, girl.
I'm like, somebody told me that I could do, what was it that I was trying to do? I don't know, something with a t-shirt or a baby onesie. Like, this is like old. And then I'm just, in the back, I'm just kind of gluing, taping it just so it doesn't move.
Is this wax side down or wax side up?
So wax paper has wax on both sides. I did Google that before starting. I know that some freezer paper has kind of like a plastic, which you could use too. You gotta be careful because that plastic could get into your iron. So you're gonna need like a small iron or your regular iron or the Pebbles ink.
That's so cute.
Ribbon iron.
I do not have an iron.
Isn't this the cutest? Isn't this the cutest thing ever?
But Delise, I don't mean to derail you, but my wax paper, it feels like super smooth on one side, and then it feels like kind of rough on the other.
Okay, so use.
Because this is cheap, I'm just wondering if there actually is wax on both sides of mine.
So use the one that is super soft, put it against the paper.
Okay.
Yeah, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm using the Pebbles ink iron, but you can use any iron. You do want to have some like tissue paper, or I'm gonna give my age here, typewriter paper, printer paper, and so.
Angela says, "Oh goodness, I have the iron for ribbon, but have not used it for ages, and now I have a new use for it." Yay!
Yes, Angela. I know. I try to use, like, every time I need to do some petite, I'll try this little guy because I think it's so adorable. So, then I'm just I put a piece of tissue, but it could be like regular copier paper, printer paper, and I'm putting the wax facing that extra paper. So all I'm doing is, because I don't want to wax, because I know my paper has wax on both sides, I don't want the wax to get stuck in my iron. Yeah. And you just a couple seconds and just move it around and keep pressing the entire area. And it really is just a few seconds.
Can you take a quick question from Cindy? She's wondering if a Mink machine or maybe like a laminator, could you run it through that? Would the heat from that be good for this?
Okay, so I believe the Mink has an option, so it's not super hot. You could do that. So the reason the iron is better is because I'm just doing maybe a second, not even 2 seconds on each side. So you don't want, if you pass it through a regular laminator, it's going to take so long to go through the other side, the entire wax is going to melt, and the problem is that you might not get enough texture.
Oh, because you only really want like a little bit of the wax to transfer?
Yes, you want just that touch of the iron to get some of the wax down. So if you do it less time with the iron, you would get more splotchy and different texture, which is what I should have tried. So let me do another one. Let's do that.
Okay.
So because you don't want it to be for a long time under the heat, because then it will melt all the wax, and then you really are not gonna get much of a texture.
Okay, so you're going to just do an experiment for us, and this one you're going to hold for longer?
This one I'm going to hold it for even less.
Oh,
I'm just going to literally, like, touch it. That's it. So I'm going to move it and touch it in a few places. But, like, It's literally not even a second. Because my iron, like, this thing is hot. Like, those plates are hot.
I really want to say wax on, wax off with all this talk of wax paper. But
so one of the things
I'm not going to say it because that would be distracting.
I think that's adorable. One of the things I like about this little pebble,
Terry, I
have
hashtagged wax on, wax off for you because I know if you were in the live chat, you would have hashtagged it.
Okay, so I have two papers. One, the one that I put about 1 second to 2 seconds, and the other one that I literally just kissed it with the iron.
Okay. Do you know which one's which?
A peck. Yes. This is a peck. The one on my left and the one on my right, and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the one that I put more time, and I'm just putting color on my craft mat. And you know what? I actually like that with the brown. And
so
then
craft, is that little iron thing, that's for crafters? That's like a craft?
Yeah, it's for ironing ribbon. You know, when you buy the ribbon, sometimes it has that crease in both sides that is just, if you don't buy it in a roll. I know. It's so cool.
Never heard of it.
Old. Angela, do you remember when we gave Pebbles Inc. our money for this? Angela, do you remember? And then I'm just gonna put my paper to the color.
Did you even spray? Did you even spray?
Yeah, I sprayed a little bit of water. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so pretty.
See?
Oh, I love that texture.
And you could dry it and do another layer of color. Like, but you
Angela
get that cool.
That's beautiful. Angela says at least more than 10 years ago.
I would think even more than 15, at least me. Okay, so this is the one that has a lot of texture. You see it?
Pretty, yeah.
And then let's try the one that we just did a little.
Can I interrupt you again with another question?
Yeah, of course.
Cindy says, wonder if a hair straightener on low might work?
I was just thinking that. You know what? It could. It's just that you have a less surface, because that's exactly what this is. Let me open it up so you guys can see it.
Oh, yeah.
This is exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has the copper plates. It's just that it's I think it's a 2-inch wide.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
yeah,
it might take a little longer.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the one I kissed. Little pebble. Oh, this is gonna be bright.
Tia has the Pebbles ribbon iron too.
Tia does too?
Girl, you're gonna get everybody pulling out their Pebbles iron out.
I know. I think they have been out of business for quite some time.
Oh.
But I really loved Pebbles when they were in business. Okay, so you see how this, let me compare it.
Oh, that's
so
a
it's
lot
more
less.
open.
I can still see, yeah. Pretty.
So the creases are more open versus these ones are more together, more closed.
Guess what? Tia says she thinks it's been over 20 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, bring that baby out and start doing this wax resist technique.
Yeah, 100%, Tia.
Pretty.
Use it. If you have it, use it.
I gotta pop on over
to Jay.
See how fun
that was?
Jay, are you doing a galaxy background? How many have you made so far? This is so fun.
Just one. So this one's just drying. But this
pretty.
I took the silver and I'm just painting it over with a dark blue basically.
Pretty.
And then I'm like thinning it out in the middle, because what you can basically do with these is when they're done, like if you treat them like a card, right, you get sort of a nice inward like focus towards like a focal point if you put something on top of this.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like if it's too crazy for you, you then can just like cut it into strips and do all sorts of wild stuff with it. I mean, you can
Very
just use it as
cool.
like an accent, right? Like if you wanted to do more of a, if you're more of one of those elegant people who wants like a little strip of color, and then everything else is like a neutral. But I'm not.
Awesome.
But but that's
Nice.
basically what I'm working on. I'm just messing around with like the gradient until I'm happy with it, and then I'll just let it dry. And yeah, we have. I I, I got a whole bunch of these ready because I was like, so many of these techniques are like they're like 10 minutes and you're done. So
Yeah. That
in
first
any
one came
event,
out really well. I love how soft it is. And
yeah,
Cynthia agrees that Pebbles is over 20 years old.
Do you know what? I am literally stalking my Amazon guy because one of the things he's delivering today is one of the things that I wanted to use for my next technique. So
Oh, seriously? So if you have to
it
leave at some
literally
point.
is. He is 5 stops away.
Okay. All right. Let's hope it's a quick 5 stops. All right. So was there something else you wanted to show, or can I show my thing?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, thanks. All right. So I'm not doing anything messy, people. So what I have here is a panel. This is USA 2 in size. I buy double-sided adhesive sheets, and what I've done is gone ahead and lined a piece of, this is just copy paper, printer paper, scrap, and I've lined this with double-sided adhesive. So sticky. I'm gonna peel off this liner, and so now we have adhesive on this entire panel. And so this technique that I'm going to do is great for scraps. So what I've done is with some scrap pattern papers, I've cut them down to just 1/2-inch strips. So you can see some of these strips I've like die cut into, and they're all of different lengths because they're all just literally scraps that I have in my scrap bin. And I've got a little bit of a mix. So these are actual like digital papers that I printed out. I've got solid color cardstock. I've got pattern papers. This looks like a glitter paper, but it's not. And I don't know if this is considered a weave background. You'll see in a sec. I don't know what it's called. So I am gonna start with, this can be any shape, any design. Not any shape, square or rectangular, I would say, straight edge shape. And I'm just gonna start my pattern off by putting, remember this is adhesive, so all of this is background. And so, or not background, all of this is sticky. And so I'm gonna stick my square so that it's like a diamond here. And you can start with any strip. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna butt this up right against this edge. I'm gonna leave a gap. But I am gonna line up one of these edges with the edge of this square. And I'm aiming for maybe like a small gap, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. And these are double-sided, so you're gonna, well, some of the papers I'm using are double-sided. So it's kind of nice to have some of those options. So I've got one strip down, and then I'm gonna just work my way around. And so I'm gonna butt this edge. Now it's not gonna butt up against this paper, this strip, or that paper. I'm gonna try to aim and leave that same bit of a gap in between all of my paper strips. And if you're not precise about it, it's not the end of the world. And I know that's sticky. We'll fill in that gap in a bit. And then all I'm doing as I'm working my way around is I'm just trying to balance the colors a little bit so that as it goes around, you have some patterns that are feel heavy, and then some that are a little bit light. So, and then for these areas where I'm just spanning sort of a short distance, I try to use up my shorter strips first, and I try to save my long strips for when I have to go, a long distance. So I'm just gonna keep on tiling around and see how that doesn't quite go all the way. So the only trick is just to try to get long enough strips to go all the way around, and to just keep leaving that little bit of a border. And then I try, if I'm going to use a color that's really strong, I try to definitely repeat that somewhere so that it's not pulling too much focus. And then once you have this sort of pinwheel pattern started, then it starts to become really easy to just continue following that pattern. And you can just keep going around and around.
And Lynn, you could do this with any shape that has flat edges, right? In the middle?
Probably. I've never done it with anything other than a square or a rectangle. So I would definitely experiment and try it. I mean, I think that's just like you said, it's just paper, and in this case, it's just scraps at that. You know what I mean? So it's not the end of the world if it doesn't work out. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine if it's, I think just having the straight edge is the key. And I think it would work if you also did, I've cut all of my strips to 1/2 inch, but I think it would work if you had different widths also. And that could be another thing to kind of play with. And then I like to cut these off as I go so that I can use them in another spot on this panel. So, because some of these are kind of long, so they will definitely span another section. So, because once you get to just these corners, you don't really need much. So you can see you can get a lot of use out of your scraps. So I'm going to try to get this pattern with the dragonfly on all 4 edges. And
that's a great idea for using scraps.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed at my... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm a little disappointed at my die cut stash. I thought I had a hexagon, and I can't find it. Apparently, I never bought it.
No way. You don't have a hexagon?
No! What's wrong with me? Somebody link me to one so I can order it.
You're so funny.
But I thought I had these triangles, because I'm thinking triangles should look cool too.
Yeah.
You know what? Why am I looking for a die cut? I can cut a triangle. Some people. Oh my God.
Yeah, I say that all the time too. It's like, I know I have a die for this, but like I can probably cut my own squares occasionally.
I didn't even think of it. I'm like, oh, look, one cut, a triangle.
You're so funny.
Jeez.
One cut, done. Let's see. Where am I at with this? Let's just try to figure
Ooh, I know. Okay, Lynn, I'm gonna do your technique with the papers that I just made.
Oh, you're gonna cut them? But they're so pretty.
Girl, I need
You're
to
not gonna
use them.
seriously cut them into strips, are you?
Yeah.
This is for scraps. You just made like a really nice panel.
I feel judged right now. People, I feel judged.
I'm just saying your background is too pretty to use on this technique. No?
So wouldn't it be cool? I'm going for it.
I would have thought you'd like want to showcase that. Oh wait, I didn't use this purple solid. Oh.
Okay, I'm going for it. There it goes. It's cut.
Oh my gosh.
Can't do anything about it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
It's cut.
no.
Okay, Jay, don't go cutting up your backgrounds.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I
gonna
do,
put it
but
off.
I only cut them up with good reason.
Yeah, not to make scraps. You just made a pretty...
I'm telling you, I am feeling uber judge right now. Who's with me in the chat? It's just paper. Just cut it.
That's true. Well, no, you've got a lot of people. Tia said, cut it. It's only paper.
You see that? Tia.
And then after you
one
cut
of mine.
it, after you cut it, she said, Yahoo!
Oh, that is awesome.
Thank you.
Meg says, what are we doing? So
uh-huh.
we're all doing different background techniques, and I'm doing a sort of a paper piecing one. I feel like I need a little bit more of this. Is it this? There's no way I used all of this. Did I? Okay, maybe this little bit is enough. See, okay, this little bit of scrap I'm still gonna use, folks. I'm gonna put it right here.
I think that paper needs gold.
Okay, so I've got pretty much everything down, and you can see I didn't really plan what was going where. Just kind of went with the flow of things and just tried to... I think the thing that I tried most to keep in mind is just to use the same pattern, but like on different sides, just so that it kind of feels a little bit balanced. This is kind of strong, so I kind of wish I had thought to use it maybe here, just to help balance a little bit, but it's fine. Okay, so then the last step of this is, remember I left that little 1/16 inch gap. So now these scraps are small enough for me to throw away now. I keep pretty much everything, but
if you say glitter, I'm out.
I'm saying glitter.
Ooh.
So Lisa's like, nope, I'm not gonna do it.
Nope, out.
Well, you got me reaching into my glitter stash, which I almost never do. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you gotta pull the glitter out, folks. Pull the glitter out. Okay, so I've got oh, I wonder if I should go dark pink. Okay, chat might need to help me out on this.
That's like a really quilty look. I like that a lot.
Yeah, thank you. So should I go like strong with the glitter, like a really strong pink, magenta-y, to maybe pick up some of the darker pinks that are in this? Or should I go, I've got some teals, I've got some purples, I've got lots of pinks to choose from. So chat, let me know what your thoughts are on these glitter choices. I'm gonna narrow a little bit dark pink, light pink, or teal. I do have gold and silver, but I don't know if those would be good options. Delise, do you have a Delise, J, Terry, thoughts on glitter color?
Oh,
Well,
gosh.
obviously, teal is the right answer.
I swear, I
you know I love
still have
teal.
glitter. Yeah, I swear I still have glitter like everywhere in my body from 3 days ago. So I am saying no to glitter.
This sounds interesting.
Bad choice. You guys did not stop me.
Purple? I don't have purple, Tia. It's technically blue dusk. It's kind of a bluish purple, but okay, so we have green teal from Meg, say no to glitter from Delise. Teal in the chat from Jay. Thanks, Jay. Lynn
I like
says
teal.
teal, yay. Well, I try to be balanced because I know if I chose, I would always choose teal because it's my favorite. Stacy says teal. Heather says teal. Oh, you're right, Angela. Foil would work too. I don't know where my foil flake thingies are. I have like a huge container of them, but that would be another really good way to fill this in. Okay, so I'm gonna go teal. Thank you, chat. And it's so fast to do more of these panels. So then all you do is you don't have to dump out a lot. If you don't want to make a huge mess, then just work it in with your fingers so that you get into all of those little gaps that you left, and that will cover up your adhesive. Those little, it's like grouting tile work.
Okay,
If
Did you start? I totally missed that you started with a sticky paper.
Yeah, I have because I pre-did it, but I buy adhesive sheets, but double-sided adhesive by the sheet, and I line the whole thing with that. Or if you have like a wide roll of adhesive, because you can't have gaps if you want to do in your adhesive, if you want to do the what I'm doing now with the glitter to fill in the space. If you don't fill it with adhesive to get like solid adhesive, what you can do is just don't leave the gap, but your paper's up, because then if you don't have solid adhesive, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So
yeah, I'm gonna have to.
It's just a different
literally
look that looks good too, and I often do that just because I don't often like to do the glitter because it is messy. It's messy.
I am literally using my little pebbles to iron out my strips because they're still a little bit
did they
wet.
curl? Oh.
Yeah, they curl because of the. Yeah, because I didn't start with watercolor paper, of course. Duh.
Oh, you just
I
used
never.
regular cardstock?
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
good
didn't
to know
want to use
that
my.
it works
Yeah.
on regular cardstock.
Mhm.
Oh, I left.
I always try.
Yikes.
I always try with regular cardstock because, like, really thick, because I don't want to use my. I'm such a hoarder of paper.
Yeah. Well, if it's expensive watercolor, I can see if you're just experimenting why you might just start with cardstock.
Oh my god, I have
I'm almost. Yeah. Sorry, my technique is taking a while, folks. But pretty much done. I think I've got everything worked in. Oh, that's so pretty. So that's what it looks like. I just like the little accent of the glitter because I often forget about using glitter because it is a mess and it does. Somebody said it in the chat. It hangs around, and like Delise said, she's got glitter from days ago still popping up. But I did not think about it. But what I normally have at hand is, especially when I'm doing glitter, is one of those Swiffer cloths because they're great at like picking this stuff up. So so I might find that, but here's what it looks like. If anybody knows the name of this technique, let me know. Because I don't know the name of it. Cynthia is so funny. She says glitter is the gift that keeps on giving.
That is so
good.
pretty.
Angela says the teal does look good. I thought it might be too much, but I was wrong. Yeah, it's really hard to tell, before you do it. But that's one of the things that is kind of nice with just using scraps because if it doesn't work out, I wouldn't mind if I had to toss it. It's just scraps after all, and in general it's just paper like everybody is saying, so not the end of the world. But I thought this was a fun way to just kind of use up what we have, and then to finish my card, if you wanted to just make this just plain white, you could, because then you could put like a die cut over it to be like your focal image. I just like to have something just to start the pattern, and that can be anything, whether you intend this to be visible later or not. So so that's my technique. I have a different pattern I can show, but I'll probably need some time to clean up. And so let me switch to thanks everybody for all the love. Oh good. Tia says great show. Loving everyone's backgrounds. Awesome. I'm gonna pop Terry up. Can you show us your first background,
Yeah,
Terry?
of course.
And then let us know what you're working on for that second one.
So here are the finished rocks. So
nice.
you could, obviously I will cut this and use it in 2 different places. So I just thought it was interesting to experiment with warm colors and the cooler colors.
Cool. Is that panel, it's hard to tell scale, but is that USA2, that panel, or is that?
So what I did, because I have that Canson watercolor paper, I cut it to 4.5 by 6.
Okay.
So yeah, and what's cool with this embossing folder, some of the rocks have like a texture. So when you watercolor it, it almost looks like textured rocks. So
yeah, it's very pretty.
And then this one, this is a Spellbinders embossing folder. Not sure which one. And what I've done, instead of using the emboss side, I used the deboss side. And I just chose some different colors, and you get a different look using a dauber, whether you get the circle wet first or not. And I decided I really like getting it wet. So I just have my watercolor brush there. And then I am, just using my dauber and just putting in the centers on that just for something kind of fun.
That looks so
cool.
playful.
Thanks. Do you want me to show one that I did earlier?
Sure.
With a different technique?
Yeah.
Okay. So I love embossing folders for backgrounds. So what I did, let's see, this is a Sizzix, and I don't know if this is going to blind or not. So this is a gold color. And then this
that's pretty.
And that's the same embossing folder in silver.
So that's mirror cardstock.
Yeah,
Are those three? Is it a 3D embossing folder?
it is.
Yeah, I love those.
Thanks. And then I've got another one that these are foil. So again, I'll try not to blind you. This is a royal blue, I guess, and it reminds me of fireworks. So I think I'm probably going to use it for some kind of patriotic background. And then I'll put like little sparkles in the center here.
That's so pretty.
Hey, Terry.
Yeah.
Question. That first one, was that by any chance neon colors over there?
Oh, my dots?
Yes.
They look very neon in the light for sure. I thought they were going to be more pastel.
Oh, okay. What inks did you use?
These again are a mix. I have, let's see. This is what I used for the dots.
Pretty.
Thanks.
That's like very.
Oh my God, those
Easter
are pretty.
colors.
Yeah.
And then this one is on a red foil. And I thought this would be really, really pretty at Christmas time.
Oh, pretty. Yeah,
And then
embossing really makes for great, like, quick texture.
It does.
As backgrounds.
It does. And then I also embossed on colored vellum.
Oh, I want to see this.
And I've had this forever, like when I was scrapbooking and things. So if you're going to emboss on vellum, it really works best if you mist the vellum a little bit so it cracks less. So this is going to be really hard to see. It's a leaf background and it's on light green. So then what I did is I put it on a darker green.
Oh, I love that.
Thanks. And then
That's a
because
great idea.
because I don't want it to show through, then I have this frame that, I'll trim the vellum piece down to the size of the card base.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can put glue around the edges and then cover that with the frame.
Nice.
So
That's an awesome idea. The other thing with vellum that I found is if you use a little bit less pressure, and I used like the squishy mat that you would normally use to emboss with, say, like your metal dies, and I just try to come up with like a plate combination that's a little bit less pressure than what you would normally use with cardstock.
mhm.
And that seems to help a little bit with the cracking.
Yeah,
when I emboss vellum.
that makes sense.
Oh, welcome, Cordelia. She says the gorgeous is blue. Yeah, there's a lot of love for your embossed mirror and metallic cards.
Thank you.
And Cindy says, going to try the vellum.
Awesome.
Is
And
Jay painting fire? Oh, let's pop over to see. Oh, sorry. Didn't want to cut you off, Terry. Was there another one you wanted to show?
That's okay. I was just going to say it really does, I think, is more impressive on a darker, so not the lightest pastels, but if you can find something a little darker.
With the vellum?
Uh-huh.
Cool. Wow. Jay, I like this is sort of like, what's that painting? What's the Van Gogh painting? Your blue one.
Oh, like
Fahrenheit?
you mean?
Yes.
Except I don't think Van Gogh used glitter, but I was so inspired. I was like,
You threw glitter on there.
yeah. Well, my cheat is to always do it in a box, so that ideally it doesn't go everywhere, but it still kind of does. But
Yeah, I've got it
so
everywhere.
I use like super fine glitter and then some chunkier stuff. But yeah, like you can actually see now that this is drier. Like if you ignore the glitter, Like the cool thing about this technique to me is like the you can really see the metallic through everything else.
Yeah, gorgeous.
But yeah, I figured I couldn't be on the stream as Stamper Girl and not like break out my Liquitex neon colors and just do like. And I mean, I think this is a good example, right? Like if you made a whole card panel about this, it would be a lot of neon. If you like that, go for it. Like this would have been cool for like a superhero background of card challenges a few times ago.
Yeah, that's so
But
funny. That's
and
beautiful.
the other one I did was I just like took this purple background and then just used a pouncer with some neon. Like, oh, that doesn't read very well, but it's yellow and green in real life. So it's got kind of a neat like metallic sheen to it because of the metallic paint.
I can see the
So
shine, but that doesn't look green to me. So yeah, I'm glad you said.
yeah, it's like photographing a little bit weird, and the green is like pretty subtle.
Yeah, there's a lot of love for your that orange yellow panel. Could you hold it up to the camera so we can get like a that yeah,
The bottom
that
one or the
one.
top one?
The bottom one.
Oh, sure. I was just cleaning the edges. I was
Oh
like,
wait.
got a little.
Oh, that's
There we
so
go.
pretty. Oh, it's still pretty wet. You do work with a lot of water. That's cool.
Yeah, I did. This is just working with a lot of paint mostly, but yeah, I do. And this one is just using acrylics, and I don't know. I really like these kind of things where you can see all the brush strokes in them, which some
Yeah,
people like and other people hate. But like once this thing dries down a lot, it'll at least maintain most of that, so like it'll look really cool. Either
I
as an
like
edge
it.
piece, or you could do like yeah. I mean, I guess you could do a whole background out of this, like for somebody who is a fan of neon, certainly.
It
But yeah,
doesn't look super neon to me.
it doesn't, which is weird. Like when the colors blend, they get a lot less neon, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, it reads as like pink and yellow more than like you know. So it's interesting when the stuff comes out of the tube, it's like this color, right? So it reads as like very neon, but I don't
it
know.
it looks like it could be a really nice like a sunset almost.
Yeah, I should grab it. Like for a while, like I kept a canvas next to me when I was painting and just used my leftover paint on it. Actually, I will grab it. It's probably pretty cool to look at. But there's a lot of neon in it, but like you don't notice there's neon because there's a bunch of other colors in it. So I mean, like I forget there was an artist. Well, there's like an art tutorial person who is like she'd buy neon colors and like use them as like the like right at the horizon line of like a sunrise or a sunset. And then you
Mhm.
then like if you blend other colors in, like no one really notices that they're neon.
Cool. Awesome. Oh, that's really pretty, Terry. Sorry, just wanted to peek in on what you were doing.
Oh, thank you.
That's gorgeous.
Yep. So
That's
this
such
is
a cool
another.
technique.
It's another embossing folder on the watercolor paper.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And then you're just painting the embossed side, basically.
Yep.
That is a really good idea.
Thanks.
Cece says, I'm back. What did I miss? I'm not sure when you left. I finished my panel and it's kind of I think Meg said it's like a log cabin paper piecing kind of background. Tia is a fan of your purple. Are you painting with water? What are you painting with? Oh,
I am.
inks.
Yep. I'm
Oh,
painting with that, and then I have 2 different colors of green.
beautiful.
And again, I'm very basic. I just have it smashed on the side here, and then I'm just dipping my brush in water and picking up a little bit and just kind of playing around.
Yeah, Cece wanted to know too. Yep. So Terry did some ink smushing and then of her memento dye-based inks and just using a watercolor brush. And that's an embossed panel that she's painting onto.
Mm-hmm.
And it's she embossed watercolor paper too. So Let's see. Angela says, Terry, after painting the embossing folder, do you put it through the embossing folder again?
That's an excellent question. I've actually never done this before.
Oh. It
Um,
looks fabulous for your first go. Well done, my friend.
Thanks.
And I'm
Yeah.
so glad you're willing to try new stuff on live with us.
Well, when you get to a certain age, you don't really care if you look silly.
I don't think age has anything to do with it. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna peek in on Delise and see. Hey, oh, how fun! I can't believe you cut up your panel. I think Delise. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love the thick and the thin. I like that look.
Ooh, so pretty.
Yeah. She's like digging through her scraps. I don't know. We can't hear you, Delise, if you're talking. So just so you know.
Well, that would be because I was having a coffee fit and I forgot that I muted myself.
Oh. Okay. Do you have tea
But
by
did you see? I'm like, it was what was that?
Oh, I was just hoping that you have some tea for your throat.
I do, look.
Okay, good.
Rose tea. Rose petal tea. It really helps with my cough.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you started with a different shape too. So now it's good to know that it works with. Cynthia says it's pretty.
So the only problem is, and I will tell you right now, is that so these angles.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because then you have to cut too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the good thing is that the original one that I took for this piece, I kept cutting half an inch on following that angle without knowing it.
Oh, so
and then when I went to put it, I'm like, oh, yes. I was like, whew.
Nice.
Oh my God, it's snowing. No.
It's snowing? Has your package arrived yet?
Yes. I have my package.
Cool.
I already used it, girl.
Oh, what was it? Oh, cool. Your gum Arabic.
For those that don't know, Acacia powder is the same thing as gum Arabic. And I have some mica powder that I wanted to use, and I didn't have any, it's not stabilizer, is, what's the word I'm looking for, Lynn?
Oh, the binding agent?
Binding agent. So I bought this. It is from Whole Foods. And the good thing is it's supposed to like help support your intestinal health.
Yeah.
And gentle on stomach. So
yeah. That's what I buy. That's what I buy too. Not that brand, but I buy an organic gum Arabic as well. And then what I'll do is I'll just take like a little bit to use in the craft room, because you can actually use it in your cooking as a thickener also. If like say you can't eat, like if you're gluten intolerant and you can't thicken with.
So I usually have tapioca flour to do that, but I was doing some research, and the problem with the tapioca flour is that it's when you mix it in with water, it's not clear. Like it gives you, like it's gonna change the colors of my mica to be more, I don't know how to explain it, like more chalky.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I didn't want that. Okay, so should I use my mica powders to put in between there?
Yeah, mica powder is great. Glitter, if you have the gilding flakes, like the, gold gilding flakes, that works too.
I have the gilding flakes, but the problem is that the ones I have, of course I have them, The ones I have are like pink, and I think it's gonna be too much pink.
Yeah, maybe like if you have a silver or a
Ooh,
bronze.
wait!
Um,
I have this.
yeah, you can use that too. The foil paper foil, the remnants, for example, you could use that. That's great for scraps too. Oh, cool. Cece posted a watercolor panel. Cindy did the vellum, and that worked awesome. Let me go check the group, folks. And yeah, if you are crafting along with us and you're making some fun backgrounds, let
Yeah,
let us
upload
know.
it and show us.
Yeah, I'll pull it up so that we can all see. And I have a different pattern for the paper piecing. So I'm gonna work on that next. I don't know if I'll get to finish it, but let me definitely pull up. Oh, that is pretty. Okay, I know you guys can't see
We
it.
can see it.
Oh, hold on. I like to,
Whoa!
do my little sneaky peeks before you all see.
Okay, this is working really nicely.
Oh, nice. That's so pretty. And look, like you're using up your scraps.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, wait, you're still not seeing what I'm seeing. One sec. 1 second. Okay, check this out. Just kidding. Check this out. Hold on. Here we go. Look at
Oh,
that.
wow.
Now zoom in. Look at that texture.
Oh, yay.
Is that a Tim Holtz folder?
I can't believe you
Cindy?
actually have colored vellum. I don't have colored vellum. Is that something that everybody has kind of in stock in their craft room?
You're just a
I just bought some
baby.
off Amazon like a month ago, maybe. But that was like I had a good reason, not just buying more stuff for my stash.
That is a good
There,
reason, Jay.
there's. Oh my gosh! Look, are you seeing this? Are you seeing
Yeah.
this? Yeah. Look at that with a hair straightener. It worked
Oh,
That is cool.
what, Cindy? That is super cool.
with a hair straightener. That's
And
so
you just
awesome.
crumble it. I love the crumpling that you got in there, like the design.
Yeah. Thanks for testing that out for us. Now we know. Now I can use my hair straightener for something. Look at that. That's pretty. Oh, I love it. I love those colors. Teal and purple. Love it. Okay. I think I got all of the ones that have been shared so far. So if you are not familiar, this is, oh, Delise. Cindy says it's Spellbinders Forever Green, the embossing folder. Here is a link to my Facebook group, Crafty Fun with Friends. So that's where everybody who's posted their panels has been sharing. So if you are crafting along, you're not already part of the group, it is a private group, so you do have to join, and only the folks who are in the group can actually see what you post. So feel free to share what you are. Ooh, what's Jay doing? I'm like squirrel.
Oh, I was just screwing around with. So I had these acrylic inks I've had forever because they came in some art box forever. These are Dr. P.H. Martin inks. So I just
Oh.
dripped it on here, and then I had. It's kind of like it's sort of like the acrylic gloss medium stuff you'd mix with acrylic paint, but this is actually airbrush stuff, so it's really liquidy. You can probably see it in there a little, maybe not. maybe not
No.
on camera. It's basically the consistency of like water. So then I drip that on top of that, and that's where you have these like really dilute sections. So
Oh,
yeah,
so cool. It's like alcohol ink technique.
it is. And the cool thing about the acrylic inks is like it behaves just like ink, but then once it's dry, it's completely stable. So you don't really have to worry about like reactivating it or
It
doing stuff
moving.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Which is
point. Yeah.
like kind of the thing that like I love my pigment inks, but it's the one thing that I always feel like I have to be really careful with. It's like, oh yeah, our water reactivates these. That
Yeah.
might be bad, but yeah.
Cool. I think CCRA bounced, but bye, CC. Thanks for joining. Have a lovely supper. She says good night to everybody.
Oh, and I'll just throw
Hey,
in since I'm on.
Jay,
Yeah,
what is the medium that you said you used?
is Liquitex airbrush medium because I
Oh,
own
okay.
too many Liquitex products because they make
That is
really
not you cannot. You cannot.
like
They're the
I,
best.
they are like I really like Liquitex Basics as a line just because like it's not expensive, it's easy to find, and like you have the support of like a real paint company if like you had some weird question. Not that I do, but So anyway, yeah. So this has been fun stuff to play with. Oh,
Cool.
I was going to tell you. Like, so if you don't like glitter flaking off, what I did once it's dried a little is I just put a layer of acrylic gloss on top, and that'll just like seal all the glitter in.
Oh, what a great technique. I was about to say, because you don't have a binding agent, what's gonna hold your glitter down?
Well, like initially it's just the acrylic polymer itself. Like as it's drying, it's very sticky. So
Okay.
like once the surface kind of dries and gets tacky, like you could just dump as much glitter as you want on there, but like it's not going to be held on particularly well. But so I usually just hit it with another layer of some kind of gloss or medium or gel or whatever. Like any of the
Okay.
things that dry
So
clear.
Good tip.
yeah, so your acrylics are a polymer base that would have like plastic on it, so it will attach. The glitter will attach to it, but the problem is that there's going to be micros of those flakes that won't be attached to anything, and those are the ones that are flying off, right?
Yep.
Wow, you guys know way more about this stuff. I understood like half of that. Maybe.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't
I mean,
realize acrylics came in. So there's water-based acrylics and then there's polymer-based. Is that what I'm understanding?
No,
they're all polymer based,
so
but like
they're
they
all
come in different
polymer based.
thicknesses.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
So
mean,
some
I mean, I'm
acrylics.
a
So
total nerd,
yeah,
but like paint is
yeah.
cool. Like you could have a whole live stream and just like talk about paint, but
Well,
like only three
you
people would
could.
care.
I would not have much to say because I do not know much.
So if you like the ones that he's using, those PH Martins that are acrylic, they're super liquid. So the difference of those is that those are super intense colors. Like if you take some of your, let's call like your apple barrel or any of those little tubes from Michael's and add water, you're gonna have liquid acrylic, but the problem is that you're adding more bonds to more chemical bonds, so it's gonna make it so the acrylic is not gonna attach to your paper as well, and that's why it's also lighter in color. So you're diluting your dye. So if you really want vibrant liquid acrylics, go and get yourself some liquid acrylics and try them because they are the bomb. They really are.
Interesting.
The Liquitex ones are my favorites, I think, because they make some
I
really
think,
nice ones.
well, for the price is as close as professional as you're gonna go. Like if you want to go to like, so they're more expensive than regular acrylics, even the basics. You get like a little container, and they start like at $4 or $5 a bottle. So just get your blue like your primary colors so you can mix your own. That's my suggestion for you if you have never tried them. Or get your favorite color. Go get teal and play with teal. You know?
Okay, teal.
Yeah. But like there are some, like I went to Blick the other day and they were putting some German brand that I did not know what it was, and the colors were so gorgeous. But like the little liquid bottle was not even half an ounce. Like this was tiny, and we're talking about $18 was the cheapest one, and I didn't like the color. I was like, no, I like the color that is $35. Not gonna happen. I'm like. So that's the great thing about Liquidix is that you get great colors, you get great, it's a great product for the price.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, lots of love for Liquitex and for Jay's technique. Alyssa, welcome. Terry, welcome back.
So I have this other company also makes acrylic ink or liquid acrylic. It's called Amsterdam.
Delise, can you pull it down?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are the people
there you
who
go.
make the pearlescent ones, right? Because you were playing around with like a magenta pearlescent. Oh, I guess it must have been that color. Like you were like painting
knows your stash so well.
And of course, I have the fluorescent colors from them because hello, I have to have them. But these are also if you're looking for something, look for inks that are considered good for airbrushing or calligraphy. Those will give great fluidity.
Cool. Just to catch Alyssa up, we're not actually making any cards. We're just playing and showing different techniques for backgrounds. So, all four of us have been trying something different and showing something different. So no parameters, just like Meg said, anything goes, just making backgrounds. I wanted to show this different pattern that I'm working on. Again, anyone who knows the actual name of the pattern, but basically it started the same way, just with some scraps that I cut down to 1/2-inch strips. So you can tell these are true scraps. I've cut into them, and the way I started this pattern is 2 strips parallel to each other. I'm gonna do the same thing where I leave a bit of a gap, about 1/16 of an inch, and so there's a gap between these 2 strips. And you can start it anywhere. I just like to start it so that it's going through the corner there, and then you can do whatever angle you want. Then I do 2 strips orthogonally to that, and I'm trying to continue this edge here so that it lines up with the long edge. So line up your short edge with your long edge, and 2 strips there. Then again, line up your short edge with your long edge. Do 2 more strips. So it's always 2 strips, 2 strips, 2 strips. You could do 1, you could change it up and play with it a little bit. And again, I'm trying to just, as I'm picking what goes where, all I'm trying to be cognizant of is color balance. So whatever color looks really strong, I try to make sure I have it on the other side too, so that it's nice and balanced. And some of these are single-sided papers, some are double-sided. Again, I just dug through, and these are all from different paper pads too. It's not, they're not all like, that's Crafter's Companion. These sparkly glitter, faux glitter ones, these are printed, but they look a little bit like glitter. Those are from Cat Scrappiness. The heart one I know is Bo Bunny. I don't know what this one is. So they're from all over. So you can really you can really just mix and match so long as you think the colors work together. And then as I am going, I like to just trim off whatever overhangs, because then you can use it on different sections. Even your smallest bits, you can maybe squeeze them in as you get closer to the corners where you need just like a little bit. And so I'm gonna continue on, but basically that's the pattern. So Angela says it looks like a chevron pattern. Oh, herringbone. I think that's it, Cindy. I think it's herringbone. I was gonna say parquet, like your wood flooring, but I don't think that's right. I think herringbone is Meg
That is the word. I just didn't know how to say it.
Parquet or herringbone? Parquet?
The one with the H.
Oh, herringbone?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
Cordelia says, do herringbones really look like that? I wonder. I have no idea. Yeah, so
okay, so what's a herring? Do I need to Google it? Is it a fish or is it a bird?
It's a fish, I think.
It's a fish, yeah.
Okay.
Are you Googling it?
No, I'm not. You know what's hilarious is that I won't go anywhere to eat fish here in the States because I don't know the name of the fish in English.
Oh.
So I know them in Spanish, and I'm not quite sure how they translate. And if you Google it, they come with completely different names. And I like my fish. I only like some types of fish. So I'm like, no, I'm good. Unless they have red snapper. That I know what it is.
Snapper's yummy.
Oh, red snapper is the best.
Do you eat sushi? You don't.
Yes.
Right? You do.
I do.
I know your husband loves it, but
yes. Well, I like sushi, but I do not. Okay, here it is. I do not really like sushi because my husband says that if I don't eat the raw fish one, then I don't like sushi.
Yes.
So I like.
He's right. What do you consider sushi?
So I like my sushi deep fried. I like my sushi
that's not sushi.
With shrimp. I like my sushi with crab. I do not like tuna or any of that raw fish. No.
Oh my gosh. Marcus is correct. You don't like sushi.
Right? He keeps saying that. He's like, nope, you don't like sushi. Yes, you like anything deep fried, which he's totally right on that.
I agree
with him. Deep fried Oreos, deep fried sushi, deep fried Twinkies.
Girl, can you stop talking food? Because I'm starting to get hungry.
Do you know that's how we cook the red snapper, right? We deep fry it, the whole thing.
Oh, yum.
I know.
Oh, no. I need another long strip.
Look at how cute. I am so glad I cut that background.
Oh, wait, hold on. We gotta hold on. I'm just reading the chat. It's hilarious. So first off, let's get this cleared. So Angela says, I Googled herringbone versus chevron, and this is definitely herringbone. Okay, so that's good to know. But Lynn is with you. Sushi, she likes sushi that's cooked. Angela's with me. She says sashimi is the best part of sushi. 100%, Angela. And Alyssa
that's why my husband.
Alyssa says that's not sushi. What you were talking about.
Yeah.
Angela says, I want sushi now. Me too, girl.
I know. I think I'm going to have to ask hubby to go get sushi. Well, what I call sushi, okay?
Yeah, don't even. That's just food. You're just talking about food. You're so funny.
So our supermarket here has really, really good sushi.
Really?
And yes, and the other day I asked Marcos to go get me, and he's like, "You're really gonna?" I'm like, "It's really good. Like it's well, again, I don't eat the raw fish one, so I don't know how that one tastes."
Yeah, that's the thing with supermarket. Oh yeah, spicy tuna roll. I'm like doing the whole squirrel thing. You got me got me thinking about sushi now. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, supermarket sushi I think is always like kind of tough because you just don't know how long it's been there. You know what I mean? Like if it's super
Mhm.
fresh or not. So even like from morning to afternoon, I feel like that could make an impact on how it tastes. I don't have a piece that's long enough except to do pink again.
By the way, do you want me to go over the blue background that I show at the beginning?
I do, but can you give me input first?
Yeah.
Let's talk about me first, and then we can talk about you.
Okay.
This is the only strip I have that's long enough. Does it look bad if it's right next to another pink one? What do you think?
It bothers me.
Is anyone else bothered? Chat, Jay, Terry, anyone?
It kind of bothers me too. I'm sorry.
Well, you could just flip it over and use the blue side.
But I don't have blue anywhere else.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
I'm out of scrap.
Well, you do have blue. You have blue in the little hearts.
But then I haven't used it anywhere else. Is it going to be even more weird to only have the one thing of blue?
Oh shit! Yeah. Oops. Sorry.
You're so funny.
Oopsie.
That's okay. All right. This is
how about how about that green one
with scraps?
That green one. Yes. So cut. Oh, but you haven't done a thin stripe of anything.
I haven't done a thin stripe. Yeah. This is the problem with scraps, folks. When you run out, you run out. I don't want to have to cut into a new sheet.
But you know, the backside of that the backside of the one that you just showed, is that a full piece? The stripes, yes, the backside of that. You see, that doesn't bother me as much because it's the same colors, even though if it's not the same pattern.
Yeah, but even if it's going to be the only time I use it, that's the problem with breaking into something
Well,
new.
you could still use it for like the little tiny corner at the end.
Yeah, but it's all going to be on this side. Won't that be weird?
Yeah. Well, can you pull the one of the bottom dotted? Yeah.
Everybody in the chat is trying to help. They're like, not the blue.
Not the blue. Everyone agrees, not the blue.
Well, Angela said it looked okay. Meg said it looked okay with the pink. It bothers me too, folks. I won't lie. Oh, this is long enough.
Yes, wait, that's good.
TS to the rescue. She said the this is long enough. TS. Thank you.
Oh my god. And she has us here suffering.
I'm sorry. Okay. The show is yours, my friend.
Okay, I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. So it's kind of, remember that, okay, so here's the deal. I love my gel press, but I don't know where I put my gel press. Like, I put them all together, and I'm missing all of my gel presses. Like, I cannot find them.
Aren't you live streaming with us on that episode?
Yeah. That's why I'm kind of freaking out because I can't find my my gel presses.
Find that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. So what I ended up doing was I used my acrylic block and I just dab color, and I'm literally just grab two colors. I have a spring green, which is like a very vibrant green. And I'm sorry, these brands, I know they don't exist anymore, but I love my Vivid little minis. This is aqua green. These things are literally 25-year-old.
And they're still
And
pretty
they're
juicy.
still super juicy. They're super juicy.
Wow.
Like if I went, like I have to ink my stamps like this and not the stamps to the ink pad because the ink will soak through the crevices of the stamp. It's just they're that juicy.
Can I just read this real quick? It's so funny.
Yeah.
Cindy was like, so Tia ages ago said, do the polka dot, pesto polka dot. And Cindy goes, try the dot paper. I'm not convinced it's not long enough. Tia goes, Yuki, sorry about the all caps. And then Cindy goes, Tia, I was actually yelling. If only we
I
could hear
love
you.
it.
I know.
I
Sorry.
know.
Sorry
That
for
was so
interrupting
nice.
my friend.
Thank you. Okay, so I just put some dye ink, and then I bought my hard. I think this is considered soft rubber.
Mhm. Yeah, I think so.
They're hard rubber, soft rubber. Like there's different ones. There's a lot of water there, and I'm gonna go from the lightest color, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of texture, and I'm trying to put my, and then I just place my paper there.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went back again with my roller because my roller still has tons of ink. And I want to see those cells being created where you have like spaces between the ink.
Is it the brayer? The brayering is what's giving it that look?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I'm going to go back.
I think I might have missed it. Did you spritz with water?
Yes. Heavily.
Heavily. Okay. Thanks.
Oh, that is cool.
You see?
That's
And
awesome.
then I just keep going because it has so much ink, and I just want texture at this point.
Yeah.
And you could draw it in between. Did you see how those lines now?
Yeah.
And then I could get, like, there's a little bit too much white there. So I'm just going to press it with what's left. And again, this brayer still has ink. Like even though you can't see it from the camera, there is still some ink in there. So this one is going to bring it more like take away that darkness of the white paper. Okay. You see?
That's
the
gorgeous.
itty bitty teeny dots.
Yeah.
See? Those are the
You
last
get that from
layer.
brayering.
See?
Oh, that's so awesome. What a great idea.
That's really neat.
Again, but your hands are going to get dirty.
That's for you folks who
for
like
those
to get
of you,
messy.
Exactly. If you do not like to get messy, this one is going to get you messy.
Stay away.
Stay away, yes. Even though, like, if you could do this with gloves, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like it cleans up pretty quickly. So, thoughts on what color glitter to use? From the chat, anyone?
Silver.
Silver. Do you have that pink again? I'm pretty sure. I have silver. I have green. Like, it's kind of a yellow green. Jay says always teal. Jay, there's
Always
no teal
teal.
on here.
I said I was kidding, and
trying to get brownie points.
No,
I
he
said
said
like
he was
magenta
just...
would be cool.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, like a dark. Well, I mean, yeah, I like the idea of like a pink, but a darker pink.
So the darker of these two, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay. Angela says dark pink. Hi, Kendra. Cindy says no glitter. If I had anything else, I would use it, but I just don't know where. You know, the other thing that you could do, I've done this with embossing
Not use
powder,
glitter.
and then also embossed it. Yeah, I know not everybody's a fan of the glitter. Okay, I'm gonna try it with the dark. I'm gonna go with Jay's suggestion.
How about some Parallax?
Parallax? I don't have any.
Some mica?
Oh wait, I just got Parallax. Hold on. Oh, but it's teal.
Tom, tom, tom. Surprise, surprise!
But okay, it's teal, but it was because Kendra gave it to me. She knows I love teal also. Who doesn't? All right, I'm going with the dark pink. Kendra, we're all just making backgrounds, and so Jay and Delise have been uber messy. I've been uber neat except for using glitter. And then I think Terry's kind of been sort of in between, actually. So that's the panel that Terry's working on. She's coloring onto a embossed panel, and she's just coloring over the raised areas. So kind of not super messy, but also not super rigid like me. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty. Jay, I think you're gonna like this.
I just really like Terry's technique. That's something I never thought to do, and I have so many embossing folders, and it would be a lot more relaxing than like trying to paint watercolor flowers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I can't even do that. So,
and as I was experimenting with the green, there were so many different effects you can get. I don't know if it's going to come through on the video or not. And then what I decided to do was just take a very light, still the same purple ink I was using, but very watered down. And I'm just kind of going around some of the darker purple areas. I just thought that would look really nice.
Yeah, it's impressive how much dimension you can get just from one color, one thing of watercolor, because you can dilute it.
Mm-hmm.
And get lighter tones. So it's insane that that's just one shade, right? Your purple is just one shade, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. It looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
But what's your technique with the greens that you're doing?
So for a lot of them, I used my lighter shade of green, and I watered that down quite a bit. And just went over the whole thing. And then I took some of my darker green and went back over and just kind of dotted or kind of did some veins on some things.
Oh,
but yeah,
cool.
you can get a lot of different effects doing that.
And so then, but then you did the reverse for the flowers. You did dark, and then you're coming back with light. Yeah.
Right. So I'm just kind of going around the outside of what was the dark.
How neat.
Just because I thought I wanted to have a little more purple on here.
Yeah. Pretty.
Thank you.
I don't know if you can scooch your panel up a little bit just so we can see more of the, yeah. Yeah, that's really pretty. Oh, what's Delise working on? You got a comment from Barb. She says that is adorable. Oh, are you putting foil on that too?
Yeah, so one of the things I like is when I have like scraps of foil, this is not heat foil. This is the foil that you use when you use like that paste that stays sticky.
Like a transfer
so it
gel?
has to be, yeah, it's transfer gel. It's the transfer one, not, it's the one that you use with the transfer gel, not the one that you use with heat. I just get a glue stick and I just go to town with a glue stick and then use and you gotta be pretty fast because the glue stick dries like this.
Yeah.
So, and then, but look at this.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool.
See how much it adds, and it's just my scraps of my foil.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you can kind of like, you can kind of like, you like do flick, you can do full brush strokes. Like if I go here and I just go pretty solid with it. Now let me see if I have enough in any of these. And then I just put it there. I'm just burnishing it pretty good so it sticks. And then you pull it over. And then you get kind of like the pattern of whatever was in there before. So in this case, since I was using it for the log cabin technique, so look, so now I'm going on the other way, sideways with lines from the other side, and then look at how suddenly you get like something that's like,
oh, how pretty.
How super cool, and it's already dried. And it's not sticky.
Awesome.
It's not sticky at all.
Oh, that's so cool.
And remember, you could also use this like just do the whole panel with a glue stick and then put your foil and then die cut your sentiments from it.
Yeah. Is Jay finger painting? What's happening here? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I had all this Catherine Pooler tissue paper from buying too much stuff that I just reclaimed, and I was like, I'll just do a collage background with that. So yeah, I'm just using Mod Podge for paper on top of this basically. I'm just layering it until it looks kind of neat.
That's awesome. So that's packaging.
Jay.
That's like
Yep.
what you actually bought was wrapped in that, yeah?
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Way to upcycle.
Jay, that tissue paper doesn't bleed?
It doesn't for some reason, which is really interesting.
Okay.
I assume the color would bleed, but it hasn't been, so I don't know.
I heard that. I heard that the most expensive ones bleed. So I know. So you have to actually buy them that says that they bleed, and because they use different inks in them.
Oh, I see.
Interesting.
Because I was the day that I was at like I was like, ooh, baby, those colors are pretty, and it says that they bleed, and I almost got a package and I was like, oh, that's expensive. Plus I have tons of tissue paper at home, and then I came home and none of them bleed, and I was like, oh, okay, that's why that one was more expensive.
Wow. Oh, check this out. Oh, wow. This is cool. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm seeing. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Did someone post?
Yeah.
Oh, who posted? Who's playing?
Let's see. There we go. Check that out. So this is Cynthia. She made a background with some
Yes.
scraps. Love that.
Yes.
And it looks like an egg, so I guess these are
Yes.
gonna be like, these are very Easter. That's another thing is
Mhm.
great about just doing something like what Cynthia's doing here, because then you kind of create a new pattern paper almost. And die cutting from it is a fantastic idea. So you don't have to just use these as backgrounds. They can, and I think Delise said this too, that you can die cut into them. Whoa. Look at this.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's very pretty.
Oh, wow.
Is that like embossed lunar paste or something?
Let's see. Lynn's gonna have to tell us. So this was actually the first time I did emboss resist. Also had to use my Hero Arts fruit stamp. Really cool. So I guess it's embossed, stamped in black, maybe, and embossed, right? And then watercolor over, my guess. Lynn, let us know. Let us know how you made this magical panel here. Gorgeous. Love it. Okay, I think I'm caught up. All right. If anyone else is sharing, just let me know and I can pop it up so that we can all check it out. Let me quickly show my two panels side by side just in case anyone wanted to. This is the, what did we call this? Log cabin, and then this is the herringbone. Although I think technically I like it that direction. So two different ways of creating little patterns here, and really, really awesome. I think I saw Stacy. Yeah. So Stacy said, "Wow, you guys are messy with backgrounds. I just put about 125 cut up scraps on numerous pieces of cardstock to use as backgrounds or die cut." That's awesome. That's a lot of strips that you already had pre-cut. That's amazing. Oh, Cindy is saying, Delise, that she thinks crepe paper bleeds.
Oh, like the thing you'd hang up for a birthday party? Huh.
Yeah, the crinkly stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't think of collaging with that, but that's actually kind of a fun idea.
Yeah, that is a cool idea. Lots of love for Cynthia's panel. That would be great. Egg. Meg says, sweet Cynthia, love the egg. Oh, good. So Lynn told us, yes, black embossing powder and then distress oxides. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Love it. It's really striking to use black with bright colors, I think. So very neat. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Terry's starting on another panel. Well, let's do a quick round. Maybe everyone else can maybe just slideshow the different panels that you worked on today, and we can maybe wrap up. So how about we'll give Terry some time to work on her panel. How about Delise? You're all lined up. Do you wanna kick us off? Do a quick recap of the different techniques that you shared today and the panels.
Yes, of course. So I kind of started with this one. This is the one that I did the test run 2 days ago, and this is the kind of like a plate, but using an acrylic block and just a brayer, and that's this one too. But this one I added some of my extra leftover foil. You guys can see it there it goes. And then this one was the trial and error with the wax paper that we crumbled and then we use the mini iron to create some textures, and I did add some parallax. So actually, this one I think is perfect pearls.
Cool.
Oh, like the
Hey.
Ranger stuff?
Yeah, yeah, that's the Ranger stuff, and this one is called Super Bronze. Super Bronze also has everything that needs to attach. This is by Jacquard. If you guys see these are amazing too.
Oh
And
yeah, the people who
let's
make
leave
like
that
tie
here.
dyes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then against all screams from my fellow crafters here, I
Well,
got
I think
my,
I was the only one. Everybody in the chat said to cut it. It's just paper.
is this paper. I cut
I said
my
to use it as
original,
a background.
well, I use it as a background. Look at it.
It's gorgeous.
So
I love it.
I had made 3 of these in different, so I made sure that one of them was a lighter and the other one was just brighter colors. And did you notice that I am back to pink again? I guess I'm in my pink phase.
You do like
I'm
pink.
gonna have to hide my pink inks. I don't know what's going on with me. And I've tried Lynn's technique, but I wanted to use a different shape to see if it worked, and it does. It's just a little bit more cumbersome because I needed to make sure that I had those angles.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was fun.
Cool.
I really liked it.
Love it. So Sharon says that she came late, but looks like fun. Yeah, we're just gonna do a quick recap of all of the different background techniques that we shared, and of course the live stream is gonna be available on replay. So definitely, you can catch the replay if you want to actually see us making it. Okay, so Jay, do you want to show us all the
Yeah.
panels that you made? Everybody
So I
made so
started
many.
out with this guy, which is just wet on white watercolor. You can see once it dries, it gets a little more matte. So I mean, this is kind of I just started doing like a spring color thing, but this is one of my favorite techniques because like if I'm feeling not creative after work one day, like you can do wet on wet stuff and just as you say, like if you do it with a bigger sheet, you know, you can cut that into a whole bunch of backgrounds. So that's the first one I did. And then this originally started as a silver panel, but then I overpainted it with some blue and threw glitter on it, and then it turned into kind of this neat space background thing.
Yeah, I love that.
And then this was originally purple, and I wound up like just basically using, I guess it's kind of a dauber, one of these things. Um, but actually, I think that one came from Dollar Tree. But I
Oh,
just
is
was
it
doing sort of,
sponge?
yeah, it's a sponge on a stick, basically. It's
Oh,
pretty similar to these
cool.
things, only round, and they come in
That's
different
cool.
sizes.
I think
This
it's
one
like a
is,
pouncer, right? It's called
yeah,
a
I think
pouncer.
it is. Like, I think it's really designed for use with stencils, essentially, but
Mm-hmm.
of course, I used it for something it wasn't designed for. And this started out as purple, but I just kept. I added like metallic paint on it with the pouncer, and then did some. I had leftover acrylic ink on my palette, so I just did that with a little purple to make it a little more interesting than mostly yellow. And then this one was just sort of random neon paint. That actually, now that it's dried down, it looks a lot less vibrant than it looks more vibrant on camera than it does in real life, which is weird.
Oh,
But
does
I was
it?
just yeah, I was just screwing around with brush strokes because I really like it when you like take a brush and like do this thing with it where it kind of runs out of paint and does interesting little things.
I love
Uh,
that.
what else did I do? Oh, I just
Your tissue
randomly
paper.
dropped a bunch. Yeah, I did the tissue paper one. The tissue paper is just upcycled tissue paper and paper Mod Podge and sort of finger painting and ripping it and sticking it on. And this will actually dry all clear. It looks white now, but eventually I'll shoot a picture once this is fully dried, because it dries clear and um, I tried this with a craft roulette card once, and it's really neat because the Mod Podge dries super fast, and it kind of creates a nice sort of like it's sort of semi-abstract without being super distracting.
Yeah,
And then
I
this
love
is
it.
how the acrylic ink dropping looked once it dried a bit. There's still some wet parts on this, but I'll show you what this looks
Pretty.
like in better lighting once it's done. But it comes out looking very alcohol inky,
Yeah.
basically.
Do you think, Jay, with that one, you know how when you're doing the alcohol inks before, um, like halfway dry, you can put some of that foil on it and get a little bit of that metallic foil effect on parts of your alcohol ink panel, like the parts where it's like semi-dry but not completely dry. Do you think that would work with the acrylic paint too?
I've never tried it, but I would think it would transfer because the acrylic paint, when it's at like a midway dry stage, is like really sticky. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you can use it to stick glitter, and
Yeah, yeah.
you can use the mediums with almost any kind of paper, because it's like once you saturate it with effectively glue, like it's gonna stick. But yeah, I did a whole bunch of random stuff, but I'm sure these will turn into future cards.
Cool. So awesome. All right, Terry's all lined up to show us all of the awesome panels that she worked on.
Okay, so first I have my embossed rock folder on watercolor paper, and I did half of it with the warm colors and half of it with cool colors, and just painting over the raised parts.
Lovely.
And then I had my neon dots.
It's so pretty. That's perfect for Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was so easy. Super easy.
Your daughter's a fan.
Oh, thank you, Leah. Okay, and
Oh,
then
this one's gorgeous.
Here's my floral.
That's so pretty.
Again, all three of those were embossed on watercolor paper.
It's amazing how many backgrounds you made, like pretty much start to finish during the stream.
Yeah.
It goes fast, huh?
It really does. And then this is my embossed on colored vellum leaves, and then I'll trim that and frame it with the wood frame.
Wow.
Love it.
And then I had my foil ones. I had my
Pretty.
why can I not see? I don't want to blind anybody. So this is the gold one.
Beautiful.
The silver. The blue that I'm going to use as fireworks.
I love that.
That one I think is my favorite. And then the red.
Gorgeous.
And then the one that I was just kind of playing around on at the end, I was just freehanding because it's Texas bluebonnet season. And so I was just trying that out. And
you're freehand painting that?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. And I've never done it before. I just thought, well, why not? I got a couple
for real? Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Thanks. So
that is gorgeous.
So in Texas, it is amazing, the wildflowers that just grow everywhere. I mean, just thick along the sides of the freeway and in the medians and in people's yards and in these great big fields. And so you'll usually see the bluebonnets in together with Indian paintbrush. So I will probably goof around with this some more. And when I get it done, I'll post a picture of it in the group. So.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. That's gorgeous. Sharon's got a question about what watercolor paper we each recommend. So Terry, you're using this, right? Canson?
Yeah. Yep, exactly the same.
Yeah, so hold on, let me throw myself in the big screen. So Canson XL watercolor, 140 pound. This is actually really pretty affordable. Also, it's large too. It's 9 by 12. You can get them in different sizes. And I like to, when I'm making backgrounds similar to the technique that Jay showed, I'll actually like cut one of these in half maybe, and then do like one technique on one, another technique on another, and you can get 2 panels for you can get 4 USA 2 size panels out of this. So here's a card base, so you can see like I could easily fit 4 card fronts on here. with some room to spare for like just trimming a little bit. Or the other nice thing is if you make a large panel background, then if there are particular areas that came out really nicely, you could like just pick and choose, and cut into different areas. And oh, they're on sale right now, Jay.
I don't think so, but they go on sale every so often. Like they
Okay.
usually do a big Canson sale at Michael's, like really close to back to school. So just
Ah.
FYI, if it's your favorite, it goes on. Like normally it's really affordable, but when it
Mhm.
goes on buy one get one free, it's like I don't know, it's like maybe like less than 10 cents a sheet, which is for like a 9 by 12, which is just an awesome price on any kind of
Yeah.
watercolor paper.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye out on that because I usually get mine on Amazon. Um, the what was the brand you use? Fluid? That was the
Yeah,
brand?
yeah, and
I
they
thought
have
you.
two. I like their orange series, which is a lot cheaper. Um, they sell this on Amazon, but I would definitely look at Jerry's or Blick because they have way better price on this particular brand, certainly, and maybe
Okay.
others. But this is kind of my go-to, not so much because it's like the best paper ever, but because they make the blocks in all sorts of really cool sizes, and
Mm,
they don't upcharge you on the blocks as much as other people, which I like.
interesting. Okay. What size does that end up being? Is it 4 by
So
6?
these are 4 by 6, so you can
Okay.
basically cut them. You can basically cut a strip off here, and then you get a card front, and you get like a matted card front of like 4 by 5 and a quarter. But then you also
Yeah.
get like an accent strip out of it.
Yeah.
They also make a 6 by 12, which you can get if you cut it at four
Yeah.
inches. You basically get 3 card fronts. So
Yeah. That's
like if
cool.
you find something you like I agree with you. Like just buying a bigger pad and doing a whole bunch of them at once is just a fun thing to do.
Plus, I think it works out to be like a little bit more economical too to
Yeah,
get like the bigger one.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I
Well, if you
I think I Blake's has the Canson on sale, buy one get one free right now.
Oh,
Ooh.
So
okay.
if
That's good to
you're
know.
one of those people that, yeah, I remember, Jay, do you remember what their free shipping, like what's the amount for free shipping on them? I I I
I
really
thought it
don't
was
pay
45
attention
or
because,
50 bucks. I mean, it's
yeah,
not a
it's
lot.
not bad.
I mean,
No, it's
it's
not
not
bad.
bad considering how easy it is to spend money at Blick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, ooh,
yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, I live 20 minutes away from mortar store from them. So
that would be
Nice.
dangerous.
my husband just, yeah, my husband just takes me there with a leash.
Oh, this is cool. So Sharon says her daughter is in Texas and has been creating watercolor cards and selling them. And so she's trying to
Awesome.
help her find some affordable places to source her supplies. So yeah, I hope that helps. I think the I like this a lot. The Canson. It's nice and thick, and the other thing I like about it is that it's cold pressed, so it does have like a little bit of a texture on both sides, but it's not super textured. It's I feel like it's fairly smooth for cold press. Um, and because usually I think if you want like really smooth, I think you need to look for hot press papers, and they tend to be more expensive than cold press. Um, oh, Alyssa says she likes the 9 by 12s too. Yeah, that's exactly this. Oh, that's funny. Angela just ordered some fluid watercolor paper from Amazon. Great price. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's 100% cotton. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they have two. There's 100% cotton, and then there's also a not 100% cotton,
Not
otherwise known
100%.
as. Well, you know what I mean. It's like Canson. It's like Canson does the same thing, right? It's like there's their 100% cotton, and then it's like there's the other one. It's like yeah, it's made out of trees. We
And the
know.
other one. Hey, this is from Wisconsin. Did you know that?
I didn't, but it doesn't surprise me because there are a lot of places in the Fox Valley that make paper. Like Kimberly Clark is out there, and they make a ton
It
of it.
says Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yep, same area.
Is it? Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
I didn't know they were a Wisconsin company. That kind of explains why they're at Michael's all the time, though.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. And it lasts forever too, I feel like. Well, maybe because I don't do techniques as much as I probably should. Awesome. I'm gonna have to try some of your paper too, the fluid watercolor. I'm kind of curious because I like that it's got the it's like kind of bound on both
Yeah,
ends, that it doesn't curl and stuff. So I like that. Okay, so I guess I can show mine one last time. I did 2 paper piecing techniques, so not quite as messy as everybody else for those who don't want to make a huge mess. You can do so. I made a little bit of a mess though, where I left a little bit of a gap in between my paper strips and then filled that gap in with glitter, which you could use anything. You could use Delise used leftover scraps of her foil. You could use gilding flakes. You can use embossing powder and then actually heat emboss if you like that enamel look. And if you don't want to leave a gap at all, it looks really good that way too. Just butt your papers up right side by side against each other. And if you do want to do this technique where you leave the little bit of a gap, the key is to start by lining a piece of paper. And I just use thin like scrap copy paper. And that way this doesn't get too bulky or too thick. So you don't even have to use like a cardstock or anything to start with, but I like lining it with you can use either a wide roll of tape like this, which is wide enough for like a panel like this, or if you're like me, you can buy adhesive sheets in like full 8.5 by 11 and then line it that way. So I just did two different patterns. One we discovered is herringbone, and then the other one is I think log cabin. So that was my technique. I didn't manage to make quite as many backgrounds as everybody else here. Oh, I think Delise dropped. So thank you, everybody, Terry and Jay and Delise for joining. And thanks, everybody in the live chat who joined. Love having the help, in particular with my panels. No one else here seemed to need help except for me. But thanks for joining us live. I'm sure if Delise were here, she would send her thanks too. And I'm going to also just go ahead. I'm going to drop in links of all of my amazing guests. So we've got Delise is back, and she's got a row of sheep. But there is Delise's channel. She is Stamper Girl here on YouTube. So check out her channel and see all of the amazing videos that she puts out. She often also does a lot of her techniques on her videos too. So if you want to see more techniques like coloring, watercolor, and things like that, definitely pop on over to Delise's channel. Jay is here on YouTube as well, and Jay goes by Craft by Jay. Pretty much that's your handle everywhere, right, Jay?
Yeah, I had a different one on TikTok, but I stopped doing TikTok a while ago because it wasn't as fun. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty much
Cool.
Craft by Jay everywhere.
Nice. So Jay is he posts videos too. Jay also does a lot of short videos and reels if you just have like a quick minute or two. So that's really awesome as well. And he's got those posted to YouTube as well as Instagram. So definitely pop on over and check out Jay's awesome works. And then we have Terry Thank you for joining us, Terry, and showing us so many different things we could be doing with our embossing folders, because I don't use mine nearly enough. And Terry is on Instagram primarily. Maybe we can turn you into a YouTuber as well, Terry.
Scary.
We're giving her the shudders. Terry is Mama Chorizo on Instagram. So please do pop on over, check out all of Terry's amazing cards, and give her a follow as well if you can. And finally, if you're not already part of my Facebook group, I would love, especially if you did craft along and made some backgrounds with us. If you're not already a member, please do feel free to join. There are a couple questions and you do have to accept the rules, but once you do, I'm happy to approve if you're not already part of the group. And then you can be sharing your makes there as well. And of course, I think when we're all have converted these backgrounds into cards, you'll probably see them come up in the Crafty Fun with Friends Facebook group as well. So so that is just a quick roundup of all of the links that I wanted to share. And I just want to give all of my amazing guests an opportunity to say their goodbyes as well. So why don't we start with Terry?
Thanks everybody for joining in. This was so much fun and so relaxing. I'm definitely going to be making more watercolor backgrounds because it's the first time I've done it and it was so much fun. So I'm really glad that you asked me to join along with y'all, and it's nice that everybody was in the chat and being so nice, and yeah, can't wait to do it again.
Thanks, Terry, and thanks for being brave enough to try first time ever techniques on on a live stream. Love that. Jay.
Yeah, thanks everyone for crafting along with us. It's really fun, and I just love seeing all the makes after these are done from everybody who's like watching the stream. So thanks for being part of this.
Awesome. Love all of the techniques that you shared as well, my friend. And Delise, final goodbyes?
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for crafting, actually going and crafting with us, and for the questions. Because even if we don't know the answer, it actually triggers us to keep playing later and figure it out. And I can't wait to see all those backgrounds that everyone created and be turned into fabulous, fabulous cards.
Yeah, 100%. No, so cute. Wait, I gotta put you in the big screen. Hold on. You're so fast at coloring. Look, she just watercolored those up in the time we were chatting here. That's awesome.
Well, and just I wanted to try it because like something maybe that's gonna help a little bit, maybe not. Maybe try the other one. There we go. I used the background for the stamps because it kind of reminded me of the wool of the fluffiness of the. Isn't it cute?
Awesome. That's super cute. What a fantastic
Adorable.
idea. Yeah, that texture really makes it look like their fur. That's so awesome.
Yes, like these are ready to be trimmed. These little lambs are ready to get the machine going. So, but thank you, and keep trying things, keep playing, get messy or not, whichever you prefer.
Or not. All right. Thanks, everybody. It's been a blast as always. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And tomorrow, we do have another live stream. We have a mystery craft along, and I don't know if Meg is still here in the chat, but Meg is actually going to be leading that mystery craft along. So super excited for that. If you want to craft along with us, there is an event in the Crafty Fun with Friends Facebook group. And if you go to the event page and you hit the discussion tab, you'll see the supply list and the cut list. So if you like to get prepared in advance, then you can find that there. But we'll go through everything during the mystery craft along, and there's usually plenty of time to cut as you go. The other thing I wanted to announce before we wrap up is that next Saturday is my Let's Talk Design Teams Part 3. And in that live stream, I have some amazing design team owners, so company owners who actually run their own design teams. And so if you want to learn a little bit more about design teams, and more specifically from actual, people who decide who gets to be on their design teams, definitely join us for that live stream. And I haven't announced it yet, but I want to announce it here first for everybody who is joining live and still here, that I'll have 3 fabulous DT owners joining me. And one of them is the owner of TLC Designs. Tammy Louise is going to be joining me. And if you join tomorrow's live stream, I will announce somebody else who's going to be joining me next week. So you'll hear it first this weekend. Some of my guests who will join me for the Let's Talk Design Teams Part 3. So thank you again for everybody who joined. If you haven't already liked this stream, I hope that you will go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help to promote the stream so that other folks who might be interested in getting crafty, getting messy, creating different backgrounds, it just helps for them to actually discover this. And so it's incredibly, I'm incredibly thankful for you to join us live, but also, do all the YouTubey things like liking and sharing and all of that good stuff. So thank you again, and I hope that you'll join us tomorrow for Mystery Craft Along, and if not, maybe catch that on replay. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and your weekend. Thanks so much, everybody.
Bye, everyone.